श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। अन्तर्यश्च बहिर्विधूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमताम् अज्ञानमुन्मूलयन्। पश्यन् विश्वमपीदमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। Before we begin with today's inquiry, today's lecture on Upadesh Saar, a small text, Vedantic text by Ramana Maharshi. Let's go through all the verses. Let's read the entire text. कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलं कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडं कृतिमहो दधौ पतनकारणं फलमशाश्वतं गतिनिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मनः कार्यमुत्तमं पूजनं जपश्चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगत ईषधीयुक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृद्देवपूजनम् उत्तमस्तवादुच्चमन्दतः चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम् आज्यधारया स्रोतसा समं सरलचिन्तनं विरलतः परं भेदभावनात् सोऽहमित्यसौ भावनाभिदा पावनीमता भावशून्यसद्भावसुस्थितिः भावनाबलात् भक्तिरुत्तमा हृत्स्थले मनस्वस्थता क्रिया भक्तियोगबोधास्य निश्चितं वायुरोधनाल्लीयते मनः जालपक्षिवद्रोधसाधनं चित्तवायवश्चित्क्रियायुताः शाखयोर्द्वयी शक्तिमूलका लयविनाशने उभयरोधने लयगतं पुनर्भवति नो मृतं प्राणबन्धनाल्लीनमानसम् एकचिन्तनान्नाशमेत्यदः नष्टमानसोत्कृष्टयोगिनः कृत्यमस्ति किं स्वस्थितिं यतः दृश्यवारितं चित्तमात्मनः चित्वदर्शनं तत्वदर्शनम् मानसन्तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात् वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विध्यहं मनः अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वतः अयि पतत्यहं निजविचारणम् अहमिनाशभाज्यहमहन्तया स्फुरति हृत्स्वयं परमपूर्णसत् इदमहं पदाभिख्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनकेऽप्यलयसत्तया विग्रहेन्द्रियप्राणधीतमः नाहमेकसत्तज्जडं ह्यसत् सत्त्वभासिका चित्क्ववेतरा सत्तया हि चित्तया ह्यहम् ईशजीवयोर्वेषधीभिदा सत्स्वभावतो वस्तु केवलम् वेषहानतः स्वात्मदर्शनम् ईशदर्शनम् स्वात्मरूपतः आत्मसंस्थितिः स्वात्मदर्शनम् आत्मनिर्द्वयादात्मनिष्ठता ज्ञानवर्जिता ज्ञानहीनचित् ज्ञानमस्ति किं ज्ञातुमन्तरम् किं स्वरूपमेत्यात्मदर्शने अव्यया भवा पूर्णचित्सुखम् बन्धमुक्त्यतीतं परं सुखम् विन्दतीह जीवस्तु दैविकः अहमपेतकं निजविभानकं महदिदन्तपो रमणवागियम् अहमपेतकं निजविभानकं महदिदन्तपो रमणवागियम् अहमपेतकं निजविभानकं महदिदन्तपो रमणवागियम्. So, the inquiry started into one's own true nature, our own true nature. All the inquiry outside of the object is not going to lead to the truth. Eventually, that method of inquiry is different, but when we are inquiring about our thoughts, what our mind is, we are thinking, we are inquiring into our own true nature subjectively through subject, where we have inquired into what is my mind. And Ramana Maharshi explained mind is nothing but thoughts. Now those thoughts were categorized, classified as object thoughts and subject thoughts or I thought. Aham vritti and idam vritti. Idam vritti object thoughts, anything and everything, any thought modification relating to any object which is different from me is an object thought. Where I point out, where I know that to be this, and wherever it is aham, I, it is a subject thought. And in that aham vritti, in that I thought, everything is situated, taking support, residing. Why? Because unless and until there is an I thought, ahankara, ego in our transactional world, that ego is there, that transactional ego, as long as it is there, all idam, the creation, is going to be there. Having understood this, that idam, everything outside, is because resting upon. Everything outside, those object thoughts are resting upon this I. This I is aham. But who is this I? On further inquiry, we come to know that this I initially is ahankara, but in reality, it is not ahankara, but sat. That which is sat, chit, ananda, brahma. Then the Satchidananda Brahma was explained, that which is sat, that is alone consciousness chit, that which is existence principle, that alone is consciousness principle. How is it so? Because they two cannot be independent. If they two are independently existing entities, then they contradict their own definitions and have fallacies of self. So that becomes fallacious. So Sat and Chit both cannot be different, and we understood that Sat and Chit, pure existence principle and pure consciousness principle, they both are one and the same. They are the indicators of one and the same entity. Then the question is raised, oh, if such is the case, then why do I know that Ishvara is different from me? I see the world, creation different from me. It is said, no, they are not different from you. They appear different. Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat, they are not different from each other, but they appear different. What do you mean by appear different? They just have worn different garb. The name and form is different. Let's see an example later in detail. As we see the verse, we will be seeing that. Let's say I have a gold ring. What do I have? I have a gold ring. And also I have a gold bangle. I also have a gold necklace. All of these are made up of 10 gram pure 24 karat gold. Not 23.99999, 24. We are going along with standards. We are not going to compromise. This is just because it's an example. We don't have to worry about it. All the impurities, etc. Pure 24 karat gold, 10 grams. Three ornaments have been prepared. One is bracelet, one is ring, and one is necklace. All of them are made up of gold weighing 10 grams. How much price will they fetch if I try to sell them? They are going to fetch same price because the gold content in them is the same. Because the gold content in them is the same, they are not going to fetch different prices. That's why. Even though the name and form is different, the price of gold is same. Conversely, let's flip this example. If we are buying gold and if we are trying to buy a ring made up of 10 grams of gold, the price of that ring is not just going to be the price of gold but also the workmanship, the design, etc. So when we are buying ring, what we are buying is the ring, the name and form, which is ring, and gold. Price of both together. But while selling, we sell only gold and not the name and form, which is ring. Anyway, that's a different story. The point here is we are focused on name and form outside. Is it not? Don't judge the book by its cover. We do say. But we do the same thing. That's why Ramana Maharshi is saying is don't get caught up in all these external differences. Why? See 24th verse. ईशजीवयोर्वेषधीभिदा सत्स्वभावतो वस्तु केवलम्. ईशजीवयोः, ड्यूअल केस, द्विवचन. ईशजीवयोः, between ईश and जीव. ईश ईश्वर, the creator, the Ishvara. Keep word Ishvara, don't use the word Lord, because Lord in its own essence has different meaning. Let's keep the word Ishvara. Ishana Kartru, the one who controls, the one because of whom everything is working in perfect sense. So Ishvara and Jiva, between Ishvara and Jiva, Isha Jiva Yoho, Veshadhibhida. Veshadhibhida. From the standpoint of Vesha, outer garb, name and form, externally, from the standpoint of body equipment, that is Upadhi, there is difference. Bhida, difference. So, difference between Ishvara and Jiva is only from the standpoint of their Upadhi, external appearance. That's it. Then what ahead? Sat Swabhavataha. From the standpoint of their own true nature, Vastu Kevalam, they are supreme reality, Brahman and Brahman alone. From the standpoint of name and form, bangle is different, necklace is different, and ring is different. Bangle is different, necklace is different, bracelet, ring, they are different from each other from the standpoint of name and form, but in reality, they all are gold. We are not going to weigh those things or pay the price, or we are not going to determine the cost of those things in any different metal. Why? Because in reality, they are nothing but gold. So, as is the price of gold, similar will be equal will be the price of that ornament. This is what Ramana Maharshi ji has told us. This is what Upanishads, all our Shastra are trying to tell us. Let's analyze this much more further. Before we analyze this, a word of caution, one thing we have to understand, there is oneness in differences. There is oneness in differences. Why oneness? Everything is one and the same thing alone from the standpoint of Sat, not from transactional standpoint. For example, let's say ring, bracelet and necklace. Three things. We are not going to put that ring in our ear or in our nose. We are going to wear that on our finger only. Is it not? Why? Ring and necklace both are same. Why do you have to wear necklace in a neck only? You can wrap it around on your hand and make it a bracelet. You can do whatever you want. Yes, you can do whatever you want, but that's not we are supposed to do. Why? This is the transactional plane where we have accepted certain norms for smooth sailing, for smooth functioning. Coming back to the point, in transactional world where differences are visible, differences are accepted, we have to accept those differences. At that level, we cannot say two things are same. But in reality, they are one and the same. They are one alone. From the standpoint of differences, we cannot have same functioning, same transaction with everyone. We cannot have same behavior with everyone. No. But inside, in reality, we must know the truth that everyone is nothing but Brahman. Everything is nothing but Brahman. Now, coming back to Jiva and Ishvara. Who is Jiva and who is Ishvara? Simple definition. Jiva is Chaitanya with the conditioning of avidya, and Ishvara is Chaitanya with the conditioning of Maya. Wait. But Maya and avidya, they both are same. They both are ignorance. There is no difference at all. Then how can you say they both have same conditioning? Yes, they both are ignorance, but the difference is from different standpoint. Let's say now I go on seashore. I go on seashore. I walk inside the sea. Waves lapping on my knees. I put my finger inside that water. Pull it out. Now there is water drop which is hanging from my first finger. I point out towards that water, and if I ask you, which water is this? Will you not say it's sea water? Yes. Why? Because that water has born from sea, made up exactly like sea. Is it not? That is going to be a sea water. Now, let me take some more water out. I'll use both of my hands, make a cavity in my palms. I pull out water. Now, how about this water? What about this? This water, is it not sea water? But this is so much. This is more. It's not just one drop. And if this is sea water, how can one drop be sea water? Not possible. Or possible? Yes. Even if I take water in my palm, that water also is sea water. And wherever I point out, everywhere, wherever I can see, the water that I see, is that not sea water? It's sea water. Then, is there any difference between this droplet of water and the water which is in front of me, the water in which I am standing? There is difference. The difference being one is small, one single drop, and other is an ocean, the sea. Now, we have that saying that with drops, even ocean can be formed. Is it not? So, ocean, that sea, is nothing but the whole sum and substance, whole total of all the small drops of water. All small drops of water put together, it becomes an ocean. So the drop is part, the ocean is whole. From that standpoint, similarly, Jiva is part, an individual. When we say part, it's an individual. It's not a part which is separated out. It's not a part which has been separated out from something. It is still seawater. It, after having been separated, or after identifying it separately, it has not changed into something else. Let's go through this example again. We are talking about part and whole. Other words, individual and total. I dipped my finger in seawater. When I pulled my finger out, there is a water drop which is hanging from my first finger. Even though in example we have separated that out, let's say it's in water itself. So there is one drop of water within seawater. That one drop of water is also seawater or ocean. And the entire mass, whole water body, it's also ocean, sea. That's how is the relation between individual and total. All individuals put together becomes total. Same way is Jiva and Ishvara. Total causal body, individual causal body. When I start identifying with that individual causal body, I become Jiva. I, Chaitanya. Chaitanya identified with individual causal body becomes Jiva. And Chaitanya identifying with total causal body becomes Ishvara. Oh, so Ishvara is the greatest Ajnani. No, that's not how the calculation works. How do you say so? What do you mean? If all individuals put together, individual has little ignorance. All individuals put together, when the ignorance gets added, Ishvara will be the biggest Ajnani. No. Why? Simple answer, Ishvara is in control of Maya and we are under the control of avidya, ignorance. How is it possible? Let's go through quickly. We will not go into much details of this. It is simple. Understand. Avidya, Maya, they are name of one and the same thing. Now, when we categorize, it is categorized because it has three guna. It is categorized into two parts. One is Sattva Pradhana and other is Malina Sattva. Shuddha Sattva and Malina Sattva. Shuddha, pure, Sattva, Sattva Guna. Malina, impure, Sattva, Sattva Guna. How is this difference created? In Shuddha Sattva, it is predominantly Sattva. Let's say 99.9% it is Sattva Guna and 0.1% is Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Or let's not make this much distinction. Don't go along with this mathematical calculation. This is just for the sake of explanation. So there is maximum of Sattva Guna and very little Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And because Rajoguna and Tamoguna are very little, they cannot have their own effect. Why do we have to calculate Rajoguna and Tamoguna? Why do we have to keep Rajoguna and Tamoguna there? The only reason being the Sattva Guna, Ishvara is controlling Maya. Now coming back to Jiva, there it is Malina Sattva, where Rajoguna and Tamoguna are predominant. Where Rajoguna and Tamoguna, they are predominant. That's why Jiva is under the control of avidya, ignorance. Now, having made this distinction, whether it is Sattva Pradhana Maya or Malina Sattva Maya, avidya, ajnana, they all are conditionings of one and the same Chaitanya. They are one and the same thing. Take that upadhi out, take that conditioning out. What we have is nothing but Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone. There is no difference at all. There is no difference at all. They are one and the same thing. Is it not? What have we done? The part which superimposed idea of differences has been removed. Why? Because it has no existence of its own. What do you mean? Let me give you a different example. There is a jar of water. There is a jar of water and there is water in that jar, or let's say empty. There is another bigger jar of water, bigger pot of water. Now there is a small jar of water and there is bigger pot of water. They both have been kept in an empty room. Now, how much space has been enclosed by that jar, small jar or glass? It's a small. If we are to measure, we cannot measure space, but we can measure at least volume. Let's say it's 250 ml. 250 milliliters of water can be held in that particular pot. So that much is the empty space which is available there. Let's go further. How about that pot? That pot can hold 5.5 liters of water. Let's say 10 liters. Now pot is bigger. So the space enclosed within that pot is bigger. So there is bigger space. Here it is lesser space. But they both are in an empty room. And in that empty room, there is much larger space. How big is that room? Let's say 1000 liters of water can be held. How much? 1000 liters of water can be held. Oh, 1000, 10,000, any number you want. Now that space is much bigger. Okay. So what you are trying to say is all these spaces are different, right? No. All these spaces are not different at all. Space is one and the same. The difference is on account of the enclosing entity. Glass. Because it is small, the space appears small. Pot. Slightly bigger than the glass. That's why the space appears bigger. The space inside that room, it appears much larger. But in reality, you cannot quantify space. You cannot separate space in this way. In the same way, Jiva and Ishvara, these are appearances on account of external upadhi. Are these upadhis real? No. Had these upadhis been real, they would have been different in reality. But in your example, the pot is real, the glass is real, the room is real. Okay, let's accept, let's go along with your idea, your objection that the glass is real, the pot is real, the room is real. But the idea that they are enclosing space is false. There you cannot have argument. I think that they are enclosing that space, and that's why I say the enclosed space, the volume, the quantity of that space. In the same way, when we come to Jiva and Ishvara, even though how much ever real the upadhi, this body which I have right now, and Ishvara's body, how much ever real they may appear, how much ever real they may seem, we may experience, the thing is they are not real. We have identified fallaciously, wrongfully. We have superimposed, we have made them one. Break that superimposition, destroy that upadhi. Whatever that is left behind is Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone. This is what Ramana Maharshi is trying to say in his next verse. Ramana Maharshi says, 25th verse, Veshahanatah swatmadarshanam Ishadarshanam swatmarupatah. Understand? The conditionings are the result of ignorance and therefore they are illusory. A very important thing to understand. The conditionings, the outer garb, the outer external form, name, they are the product of our ignorance. They are the product of our ignorance. And because they are the product of ignorance, they are illusory, they don't have their own reality. They don't have their own reality. The qualities, the conditionings of Jiva, who is an individual, limited, small, and Ishvara, both of them are superimposed on account of ignorance. That's why they are illusory. That's why Ramana Maharshi says, Veshaha nataha. Hanataha. Having given up, having destroyed. Vesha. The one who gives up all these conditionings, all those external names and forms, etc., everything. Swatma Darshanam. Vision of the self. Swatma Darshanam, the aparoksha jnana, atmaswarupa jnana. He will gain atma jnana. Isha darshanam. Isha, Ishvara, darshanam, vision. The vision of Ishvara, swatma rupataha, as his own true nature. Very beautiful thing to say. Very beautiful reality. What Ramana Maharshi is trying to say is, the one who gives up the conditionings gains self-realization. He experiences himself. The vision of Ishvara, Isha Darshana, is like his own true nature, as the self is true God realization. Seeing Ishvara different from oneself is not Isha Darshana. Seeing Ishvara in one's own heart, in everyone, is true Isha Darshana, vision of the Lord. Now, the problem is, how can I give up all these conditionings? No, 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 no. Not possible at all. Why? If I give up this body, I will die. Will I not die if I give up this body? How can I exist? This exactly is the problem. This is where we go wrong. We have associated our existence with this body, which is mortal, which will go away. We say, as long as this body exists, I will exist. That's not the truth. The existence of this body is dependent on me. I am not dependent on this body for existence. How? How can you say? Because the existence given to this body is on account of my own true nature. I don't understand. Simple. You saw snake on a rope. Did you see snake? Yes. Was snake there or is snake there? Yes, snake is there. Analyze this statement. The snake is there. Which snake? Which has been superimposed, which is being seen on the rope. Now snake is there. Okay, yes, snake is there. Let's say. Now the question is that snake existing? Yes, it's there. What foolish question is this? What are you trying to say? What is the reason for this question? Okay. So you say the snake is there. But see now. Now when I have turned on the torch, now rope is seen. Where is the snake? Where did snake go away? Snake has not gone anywhere because it was never there. Now, when snake was being experienced, was it not existing? Yes, it was existing. Was it existing by itself, or was it existing because of something else? It was not existing because of himself. The existence was borrowed from snake, which is real. All superimposed entities which are experienced, which appear at superimposition, they borrow existence from their substratum adhisthana, which is real, the self. All the superimposed entities, this entire creation borrows its existence from Chaitanya. In the same way, that's why we can say this conditioning, this body exists because of me, my own true nature. Me as in my own true nature, Brahman. I am not dependent on this body for my existence. This body has borrowed existence from my own true nature. Here, after having understood this, we understand, okay, so external appearances are false, they are not really there. What is left is nothing but take those conditioning away. Veshahanataha. What's left behind is nothing but Swatmadarshanam, our own true nature. There was, there is, the example is in different context, but how? So, taking away superimposition gives us the vision of reality, will be understood. So, there was a jewelsmith. He was very proficient, very expert in gems, jewels, etc. One day he passed away. After he passed away, now the business, there was no one to run business. His son, he was small, maybe 5 years old, 6 years old, very little. Now they had question in front of them. Who is going to run business? Who is going to look after business? How will they survive? Because no, there was no one to look after them. Fortunately, one of their family friend, close friend of the father, he came home. He came and said, I understand the unfortunate situation that you are in, what has befallen upon you, but I had promised my friend, we had promised each other that we will always be there for each other and their respective families. I'll help you, but I don't know how can I help you. The wife said, right now I have no other choice, no option, I have no clear solution in front of me, but I know something. Before the father passed away, he had told me that he has kept few gems which are precious. They were given to him by someone, gifted to him by someone. He has kept them. He has not sold them. I know. If we can sell them and get some money, we can have some investment and we can survive. We are happy with simple living. We don't want to live fancy, etc. The friend said, okay, give me those. I will see what I can do, whatever the price that can be fetched from market. Now wife brought those gems out. The friend looked at them, carefully observed and said, I'm sorry, even though I want to help, but the thing is, they are really expensive. They are very beautiful and priceless. I don't think anyone will be able to give the appropriate price for the gems right now. Whoever I know, whoever are trustful. whoever are good people. So let's do one thing. Keep this with you. Keep this for emergency. What I'll do is send your son, who is 5 6 years old, to my shop. Let him go to school. I will take care of his school. Let him come to my shop. Let him be there for 2 3 hours. I will teach him and I will give him some stipend amount of money. And don't worry, I will make sure nothing bad will happen to him or to your family. The wife, child's mother, she accepted. The child was also happy. He is going to learn his father's business because in the end he had to run that family business. It so happened around 10 years passed. Now the son, he was old enough. The father, the friend, he asked that boy, okay, boy, do one thing, get those gems, get those jewels which your mother was talking about. Let's see if we can fetch good price for those. Now, those jewels were brought. When they were pulled out, they were taken out from its bag. The son quickly said, Uncle, these are not gems, these are just pieces of glass. They are not real gems at all. They appear right, they appear very precious, but they are not real gem at all. Why did you not tell us at that time? You could have told him, I have faith in you. I know you must have seen them, you must have known them to be fake right at that moment. Why did you not tell us? The friend said, had I told that they are fake, you would not have accepted because of the situation that you were in, and you had complete conviction that those gems are real. The example is over. Coming back to our point, the situation that we have put ourselves in, not we are in, we have put ourselves in, our vision is completely blocked, disfigured, and we cannot see the truth in front of us, and we have superimposed different set of reality. That is Vesha. As when the son, having grown up, having gained knowledge of understanding, classifying gems, jewels, etc., when he saw those same gems, now because of knowledge his vision has changed. He did not see those pieces of glass as jewels as he had seen earlier, but now he sees them as they are. As they are. He knew the object in front of him as it is. Why? Because of knowledge. This is where my point is. Vesha hanataha swatma darshanam. Once that false vision goes away, and if provided that you do not create another superimposition, the object in front of you is going to reveal its own true nature. Same way, everything, anything and everything that we have superimposed on Brahman, when all those superimpositions go away, when will superimpositions go away? On account of destruction of the cause of superimpositions, that is ignorance, and ignorance will go away on account of knowledge, Brahmajnana. When on account of Brahmajnana, the ignorance of Brahman goes away, the Brahman will reveal itself, it will shine forth. Vesha hanataha swatmadarshanam. It is like uncovering, taking away the cover. When the cover is taken away, the object in front of us is going to be seen as it is. This is the real Isha Darshana. Isha Darshana, seeing Ishvara different from oneself, different from myself. That is not real. Of course, it is good. Of course, it is much better. But that idea of difference or that idea of differences is not appropriate, not right. Isha Darshanam Swatma Rupataha. Now, our understanding of a vision. Oh, now there must be an object in front of me, and I must see that object. How bright and beautiful it is. Gurudev Puja Swami Chinmayananji, he used to say, when you sit for meditation or if you are sitting and you see light, bright light in front of you, probably it's of a oncoming train or a car. Don't try to imagine such light, etc. When you sit for meditation, be who you are. But unfortunately, because of all our transactional experiences, whenever we associate word with knowledge, word vision with knowledge, knowing, it is always in the case of duality. What do you mean? Simple. Duality as in I am different from whatever that is being seen. Me as seer is different from being seen. But in case of Brahmajnana, seer and seen are one and the same. They are not different at all. The true meaning of the vision of the self, Aparoksha Brahmajnana, is now being explained. What is it? What is Swatma Darshana? Swatma Darshana is 26th verse. Atma Samsthitihi Swatma Atmanirtvayad Ramana Maharshi says, Atma Samsthitihi, abiding in one's own true nature, one's own self. Abiding in oneself is Atma Samsthitihi, is the abidance, is Swatma Darshanam, vision of the self. The Darshana, Swatma Darshana. And Atma Nirdvayat. Atma Nirdvayat, because Atma, one's own true nature, is Nirdvaya, non-dual, without anyone, an iota of duality. Atmanashtata, firm abidance in the self. Since self is non-dual, advaita, dvaita rahita, the abidance in the self alone, abidance in the self alone, abiding in one's own true nature alone, is the vision of the self, is the darshana, drishti of the self, Atmanirdvayat, and that alone is known as abidance in one's own true nature in the self. Abidance in the self alone is the vision of the self, and that alone is known as Atma Samsthitihi, firm abidance in one's own true nature. Simply put, don't have anything to do with duality. Bappare, how is it possible? How am I going to eat? How am I going to drink? How am I going to sleep? Simple, understand the one who is drinking, eating, sleeping is not you. Let body do its own functions. What have you as self to do with anything of that? No. What will happen to my favorite TV shows? What will happen to my favorite book which I have left out reading halfway through I am there? What will happen to my people around? If you have these doubts, start with Viveka and Vairagya. Do Karma Yoga, enough Karma Yoga, do enough Bhakti Yoga, do enough Jnana Yoga, do enough Ashtanga Yoga. Start from verse 1. Go back. There is no other option at all. Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. Wherever duality is there, the fear and all problems and calamities are going to be there. When Vedanta is trying to say non-duality alone is the truth, understand and accept non-duality alone is the truth. Even how much ever difficult and outrageous it may feel to be real. I will give you a different way of looking at it. Don't accept because it is real or because I say so. Accept at its face value. Take that as an answer. Simple. Take it as an answer, a possible answer. And having accepted that as an answer, try to solve all the questions that you have. The thing is, it is the knowledge of Advaita or the Advaita where all the questions end. All the doctrine of Advaita, why is it so powerful and profound? How much ever impossible it may feel for us to accept, it is where all questions end, no question is left out unanswered. That's why it has to be real. No, or try to find your own answer, which is going to satisfy all your questions. Advaita is going to satisfy all your questions. Advaita satisfies all your questions. And not just that, it is the truth. Why? All these masters, they were not fool to mislead us on wrong path. Atma samsthiti swatma darshanam. Atmanirdvayad atmanishtata. The vision of the self is the knowledge that takes root as a direct experience. And what do you mean by direct experience? Are you experiencing yourself right now, whether it is with this body, etc., or not? How much convinced are you about yourself, about your that experience? 100%. If there is something more, that would be more. Okay. Same should be the conviction. Same is the conviction. That's how the direct experience strong is. Direct, no intermediary. If I ask you, do you know, and I take your name, or somebody asks me, do you know Pranav Joshi? I cannot say I know Pranav Joshi. I have to say I am Pranav Joshi. Is it not? So that I am is the direct experience. That's it. I am. I. Aham. Now, like self-realization, the word self-knowledge also needs an explanation. Atma Jnana, Atma Anubhava. What is the difference or similarity, what they are, that is going to be explained by Ramana Maharshi ji, but that explanation we will see next time. Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om